Are you wondering how AI is impacting the roofing industry? Well, in today's video, we're going to dive into that and so much more. I want to talk about the background, where we're currently at, the future, and then what you can do to prepare yourself. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Now, when it comes to AI in the roofing industry, you might be surprised how much is actually out there already and how long you've actually been using tools or technology that is using AI. So let's take a step back. What is AI? AI is artificial intelligence. I think we all know that at this point, chatgpt has really taken us by storm. And in order to really go a step back, let's dive into what AI actually is. The definition of AI really is trying to get a program or a computer to act like a human without any input whatsoever. And so really, it's just taking everything it's learned, it's learning itself, it's taking in all the different information, it's thinking like a human would. Now, another topic you may or may not be familiar with is machine learning. Up till this point, and even in today's world, many AIs are classified as machine learning algorithms. Really, what a machine learning algorithm is supposed to do is it recognizes and takes patterns and acts like a human would for a given situation. So it's taking a lot of patterns, it's recognizing and coming up with the best set of scenarios or close as it can to its parameters that it was provided. Now, that actually may sound more familiar. If you're using roofing estimates and roofing measurement software, that is actually machine learning. And if you're using other tools in the industry that do something very similar, maybe it maps out a certain area, that's all pattern recognition. And even though some places or some companies might actually define that as artificial intelligence, it's actually machine learning. And machine learning is actually a subset of artificial intelligence. And so you're going to find that a lot of the tools in the industry are actually using machine learning algorithms, which may surprise you. And if we go a step back, the technology you're using, the CRMs, the software that you have using Facebook ads and Google ads and all these different things, they also use algorithms. So this really does mean that you've been using AI and machine learning all along, and it's not new to the industry. You've been using it for years and you haven't even known it. So with that, let's take us to where we're currently at. Where we are currently at is we have a ton of tools. ChatGPT is now out there in the world. It has come out and it is taking us all by storm. I use it. I am sure you use it, or someone has told you to start using it. And you might think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. However, it has some drawbacks to it. Now, it is an actual AI, whereas generative AI uses the information that it has in its data bank and creates something very similar to it. And once you start to recognize it, you're going to start to see that it actually has all the same patterns. Now, there's some pros and cons when it comes to the security purposes of ChatGPT specifically, and Llama and Bard and all these other tools that are out there, which are Facebook and Google's. Now, this is a really, really great tool because it gives you a lot of insight and it speeds up things. And ideally, it's giving you ideas. You're not using it for content. And now, where we're going for the future. Ultimately, where we're going is that AI is going to be able to answer your phone calls for you. It's going to be able to do your own tasks. And it's going to be able to really run a lot of the admin side of your business. Sometimes it may even pick up cold calls. I've seen a couple different instances come forward already where there's actually this AI system that is upselling someone on the phone as in real time. And it was really, really cool. But it was also kind of scary because you could sort of tell it was human and you could have sort of tell that it wasn't human. It was 50-50 whether it actually was a robot or not. So I thought that was actually quite interesting. And so what the future actually holds is it holds a lot more automation. It holds the key to a lot more being done in your business without you actually needing someone to be there, which is really neat. And it's likely going to be taking the place of your answering system. If you're using a 24/7 answering system out in the Philippines somewhere, it's likely going to take that off of their plate. Those are the easy things. Sales is really easy for AI to do, or it's the easiest implementation of it because everyone wants to find a new and better way. So that is where we're headed. Now, what you can do to prepare yourself. Really, you have to identify if AI is going to be a good fit for your business. Many times people are going to throw AI out there, and I've seen this happen with ChatGPT already. People are connecting it to their systems, and I can guarantee you that everyone knows it's ChatGPT. I can guarantee you everyone knows that it's AI. It's not a human behind the mask. Even if someone is responding to you at 2 a.m. when they don't expect a response from someone, they know it's an AI. And so you have to be very, very careful about how you're using it. There is the cost benefit of being able to take out that human element, But there's also a risk with that because people know they're not going to be dealing with humans. You may be slightly better off on an operations perspective, but you're using that human connection that people so desperately want. When I call someone, I expect to get a human, I expect to talk with someone. Now, that may not be the case with everyone, but I do know that a lot of people feel the same way. And so as you start to remove that human interaction layer, you have to be very, very careful that you're not removing too much in your process that's going to impact your sales and impact your brand and impact your awareness. Because once someone starts to take that back and they start to really understand who you are as a business, and if you're just offloading all this stuff, then it's not going to be a good fit for them. And more people are going to start to recognize that. So you be very, very careful. Another thing to be very careful of when it comes to AI and these systems as they get developed is security purposes. You are collecting a ton of PII, personal identifiable information. And so if you're collecting this information, you have to make sure it's stored in a very secure and safe place. If you're using ChatGPT to calculate and put in people's identifiable information, that could be a third-party security risk because you may be giving ChatGPT people's names, numbers, birth dates, all this good stuff, right? You want to make sure that you're being very, very careful with it because right now there's not a ton of security around it. There's not a ton of laws around governance of it. And by people, I mean tech companies are going to use and abuse it. So you can be very, very careful about that. So that is how AI is affecting and going to affect the roofing industry. There's only ever going to be more businesses that are going to be doing this. So it's also going to get more confusing. So just be prepared, start to learn more about it, start to become a better expert, more educated on what is actually going on in the industry when it comes to AI. Do some time to research these things that are out there. There's a lot of tools out there claiming they are AI when they are not AI. So be very, very careful and just become more knowledgeable. The more information you have, the more power you have to choose and to call out the bullshit when you see it, because I can guarantee you, you are going to see it when you start to look into all this stuff. I hope this video has been helpful. Please make sure that you are subscribing to our channel to get more of these videos. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below in this video. We'll be happy to get back to you. And then finally, if you want to learn more about what we do and how we help business optimize their systems using the Zoho One system and create customized solutions for your business using AI, I would love to have a chat with you down below. You'll find the link in the video description. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.